Hey Charlotte,
Hey, Charmaine.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
So glad for our coaching conversation today.
Yeah.
Let's start off with one high and one low from the week. Let's jump in. We have a pretty big agenda today, but because you are so. I could see from the badge work tracker that you are ready to prepare
Work in circles.
Yes.
Next week. So I wanted to take the first 10 minutes of our coaching conversation to talk through the badge work
Okay.
and ensure that you are prepared and ready to go.
Great.
So I saw that you prepared life artifacts.
I did.
Can I see your work?
Yeah. Here you go.
Thanks. So I'm just going to take about 30 seconds to preview
Okay.
your work and then we'll talk about it.
Good deal.
So in terms of completion, you are ready to go. You have all the pre-circle work done, and then I can
Yeah.
see that you have done your circle exercise. So we're going to spend the next couple of minutes just talking about the circle exercise.
Okay.
So what you've seen happen in circles is that after someone presents, I tend to ask a couple of questions. And the purpose of those deepening questions is really to be able to surface any emotions or values or relationships where others can make some shared connections.
Okay.
So I have a couple questions that I would love to ask you now.
Okay.
So firstly, tell me a little bit more about what makes your artifact special. You could have chosen anything. Why did
Yeah.
you choose the lei?
Yeah. So I think this was pretty special for me. It was a special experience. Like I went to Hawaii last summer, and I went alone. It was like my first big trip, where I went somewhere where I hadn't been before, on my own, and I've like always wanted to do that. And I've like talked about it a lot, and yeah, it was a really special time. It was just like such a phenomenal 2 weeks of just exploring the Big Island and like really immersing myself in that environment, that culture. So it was really meaningful to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine. You talked about your value of exploration.
Yeah.
Where'd you learn that?
So I really think I got it from my granddad. So my parents, like our family just didn't travel a lot. We were in our hometown. Like we just didn't have a ton of extra time or resources to like go see new things. My parents were pretty busy. But my grandfather had traveled a ton when he was younger and just told a ton of stories about his travels. And like that's just like always something I've like craved and yearned for growing up. And like I think I try to look for new things in my daily life, but like this was the first time that I could like really actualize something that I wanted to do for myself. That was like bigger as an adult. So yeah.
I mean, I see that you value exploration. I mean, I learned a bit about you just in this 2-minute conversation, just around like your value of exploration as it relates to travel, and really wanting to have experiences similar to what your grandfather had. I have seen you show that same value of exploration with our scholars. like just diving into different texts, really, you know, taking the time to explore the nuances, the characters, like you consistently bring kids like through these stories in such an exploratory way. So I definitely see that connection just in what you're doing on the ground every day.
Cool.
So in this next part of our conversation, I want to make sure that you are set up to actually present the work.
Yeah.
So I want to walk you through what that process looks like.
Okay.
So you're going to bring your physical artifact. So you have a photo of it here, but bring it with you to Circle next week so that you can show it off. You're not going to pass it around. But you will stand at your seat and you'll have your artifact in your hand, and because we're sitting in a circle, everyone will have visibility of your artifact. Feel free to share it with others after Circle if they want to see it, touch it, experience it a little bit more. I am going to, at first, just like give some framing around the work, remind folks or prompt folks that they'll be listening for what resonates and what value they see. You're going to then share your work standing at your seat with your lay.
Okay.
And be sure to tell us, again, like you just shared with me, why it's special to you and why it's important to you. So be sure to share that with the community so they can have some shared connections and resonance. So share why it's important to you, how it connects to your personal values, and then how it connects to the AF commitments, which you've done in the Circle exercise.
Okay. So why I chose it, why it's important.
And then I may ask you 1 to 2 deepening questions, just like I asked you during this coaching conversation. After that, then I will prompt for resonance.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions?
Good. I don't think so. I've seen it done, a couple times, so I think I feel good. Yeah, I'm excited.
Good. So then the only next step here is to just make sure that you have your artifact with you next week.
Okay.
And make sure that you bring your physical badge work to Circle.
Okay. Got it.
All right.
Cool.
So now let's jump into the rest of our agenda.
Yeah.